The 11th Circuit's Inaction and Judge Eileen Cannon's Jurisdictional Overreach. The 11th Circuit Court of Appeals has drawn significant attention for its seeming reluctance to rule on pivotal matters involving Judge Eileen Cannon and her handling of the Mar-a-Lago classified documents case. As time runs out before Inauguration Day, their inaction raises serious questions about judicial responsibility and the potential consequences of delaying decisions on critical legal and constitutional issues. The special counsel's reports and emergency filings. Recently, the special counsel submitted 2 volumes of reports to Attorney General Merrick Garland as required by law. Volume 1 pertains to the investigation into election interference in Washington, D.C., while Volume 2 focuses on aspects related to the Mar-a-Lago case involving Trump aides Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira. Jack Smith, the former special counsel, took extraordinary measures to provide Trump's legal team access to the reports prior to their submission, though critical decisions about their public release remained unresolved. In response, lawyers for Nauta and de Oliveira, who are funded by Trump's PAC, filed emergency motions seeking to block the release of both volumes. Notably, these individuals argued for standing to challenge a report unrelated to their own case, an approach that is both unprecedented and legally dubious. Despite these filings, Judge Cannon dismissed Trump's indictment, claiming the special counsel was unconstitutionally appointed, a decision now under appeal at the 11th Circuit. Jurisdictional overreach and procedural delays. Judge Cannon has repeatedly asserted jurisdiction over aspects of a case, even after dismissing the indictment against Trump. This has sparked legal debates about whether a judge retains any authority in a case where the underlying charges have been dismissed. Many expected the 11th Circuit to intervene, especially as Cannon implemented procedural blocks that could delay the release of the special counsel's reports. However, the appellate court has largely stayed silent, with their limited rulings allowing time to resolve issues without explicitly addressing key constitutional questions. For instance, when the Department of Justice appealed Cannon's decision to block Volume 1's release for 3 additional days, the 11th Circuit declined to expedite the matter. This delayed resolution until the time limit set by Cannon expired. Ultimately, Volume 1 was released, but Volume 2 remains under significant legal scrutiny. Volume 2, Separation of Powers and Congressional Oversight. Volume 2's fate hangs in the balance. Judge Cannon has scheduled a hearing to decide whether the report can be shared with Congress, as required by statute. However, her past rulings suggest a strong likelihood she will block its dissemination, citing separation of powers arguments. Such a decision would represent another instance of Cannon interfering in matters beyond her jurisdiction, potentially preventing Congress from fulfilling its oversight responsibilities. The Department of Justice has indicated it may appeal any adverse rulings regarding Volume 2, but time is of the essence. With the presidential inauguration approaching, there is a narrow window to resolve these disputes before Trump's potential return to power, where he could pardon his co-defendants and effectively nullify the case. The 11th Circuit's inconsistent approach. The 11th Circuit's handling of this matter has been perplexing. Despite having the special counsel's appeal regarding Judge Cannon's dismissal of the indictment for 4 months, the court has yet to issue a ruling. This delay leaves critical legal questions unresolved, including whether Cannon was correct in declaring the special counsel's appointment unconstitutional. On the surface, it seems the 11th Circuit may be attempting to avoid direct involvement, hoping procedural delays will render the issues moot. Their latest order declaring several motions moot due to Volume 1's release exemplifies this approach. Yet, this reluctance has far-reaching implications, especially for Volume 2 and the broader question of judicial interference in executive branch investigations. The implications of inaction. If unresolved by January 20th, the stakes grow exponentially. A Trump administration could bury Volume 2 permanently, shielding it from public view and congressional scrutiny. This mirrors past instances such as the Mueller report, where critical findings were obscured under Attorney General Bill Barr. Current Attorney General Merrick Garland has expressed a commitment to eventual public transparency, but his tenure is rapidly ending. If Volume 2 remains undisclosed, it will likely be decades before its contents are revealed, if ever. Future administrations may declassify it, but for now, the public and Congress risk being left in the dark. Judicial and political accountability. The 11th Circuit's hesitance to act and Judge Cannon's controversial rulings highlight systemic challenges in addressing high-profile legal cases involving former presidents. As time dwindles, the court's failure to provide clarity jeopardizes accountability and the rule of law. Whether through delayed rulings, jurisdictional overreach, or political maneuvering, the consequences of these actions or inactions will shape public trust in the judicial system for years to come.